What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the DJI Action 4, and I'm going to tell you some things that I like about this camera, as well as point out some things that I think you should be aware of if you're thinking about getting this camera to do some travel videos or vlogging. So let's get into it. Before we get started, I just wanted to point out that I'm filming this video here on the Sony FX30 with the Rode VideoMic GO II. So the first thing I want to say in terms of what I like about the DJI Action 4 is how small and easy it is to carry this camera around. I have it on a tripod handle from Ulanzi, but you can easily remove the camera from the handle and hold it like this if you wanted to. But just the fact that this camera is so small is one of its best features because it's discreet, and when you're carrying it around and not recording, you can easily tuck it away in your pocket or your bag. The second thing that I like about the Action 4, which isn't obvious by looking at the camera, is the kind of image quality you can get from such a small camera. I'll put some footage up on the screen of my recent trip to Disneyland so that you can see what kind of image quality you can get out of the Action 4 when you're going on things like rides or just walking around the park, as if you were doing a vlogging kind of situation. So the third thing I like about this camera is its wide field of view. And I'm not talking about that fisheye look, because you don't have to have that with the Action 4. You can set it to standard D-warp mode, which eliminates the fisheye look and gives you more of a normal looking image. The reason why I like the field of view on this camera is because if you're vlogging with other people, you can be right beside them and not have to hold the camera too far away to get everybody in the shot. I thought this was really useful when I was on rides at Disneyland and I was sitting next to my family members and I wanted to record both of us. I wouldn't have to hold the camera too far away from myself to get us both in frame. So those are just a few things that I like about the DJI Action 4, but it doesn't come without its flaws. And I think one of the things that most people touch on when they talk about the Action 4 is its low light capability. It's not awful, but it's not the greatest either. And I think if you dial in your settings properly, you can push this camera pretty far in low light situations, but it's still not going to perform as well as a camera with a larger sensor like the Sony FX30 or even the Pocket 3. The last thing I'll say about the Action 4 in terms of things that I think you should be aware of before you buy this camera is it's not the newest version of DJI's Action camera. They have the DJI Action 5 that's out right now, which is a little bit more expensive. The Action 4 I think right now is going for $299 in Canada, but the DJI Action 5 has a newer processor inside of it, which means that it's a little bit snappier and more responsive when you're using the camera. One of the things I noticed with the Action 4 when I took it on my recent trip is that it wouldn't always turn on right away when I hit the record button. It's not that it didn't turn on, it was that there was a delay. So I would see something that I wanted to record, hit the button to record it, and there might have been a 3 to 4 second delay before the camera actually booted up and started recording. So it's just something you might want to be aware of. The Action 4 is just a little bit slower than the Action 5 when it comes to powering up and getting your recording going. So those are just my thoughts on the DJI Action 4 after having used it for about 6 months. I think it's a really great camera. I think there's a lot of potential with this camera, and just the ease of use makes it such a good camera because you're probably more likely to take this out than one of your larger cameras in most situations. And especially for things like travel or everyday vlogging, this is a great option. One bonus tip with the Action 4 is I highly recommend recording in D-Log-M. I would probably not record using the standard image profile just because I'm not really a fan of how the standard profile looks on this camera, but if you record in D-Log-M, you get a flatter looking image out of the camera, but it means that the camera's captured more data about the footage that you've recorded. You get better dynamic range with D-Log-M, which means if you like to color grade your footage in post-production, you have a lot more flexibility with that D-Log-M footage. So those are just some of my thoughts on the DJI Action 4. It's been a really awesome camera for me, especially on my travels. I hope you guys got something out of that video. If you're looking at picking up this camera, I guarantee you're not gonna have any regrets. It's an awesome camera. So that's gonna do it for me, and we'll see you guys in the next one.